Hello. So the earth is in conflict. The human race appears to be in a turmoil. And sometimes it seems hopeless. And there's a lot of people affected by what's going on. And it's sad. It's unfortunate. My personal opinion, war is wrong. And that's a strong word. You know, the whole right versus wrong thing. But I think it's easy to agree that war is wrong. I do believe in self-defense. You know, that's one thing. I think war is something that we need to let go of as a species. Nobody should have to endure that. And the reasons why these conflicts go on is what I want to talk about with you today. So what I hope I don't have to see in the comments section of this video are people hashing it out, arguing over the particulars of what's going on. And I mean, anyway, why what's going on is going on, what those particulars are that could be argued about or even just discussed calmly, if that's even possible for people nowadays. There's so much gaslighting from the system that it's hard to tell what is true and is not true. But the point of this video is that it doesn't really matter. If you're on a spiritual path, it doesn't really matter. Here's the thing. The matter of discussion, the logistics of what happened, like both sides of the story in any conflict, not just what's going on today, you guys, but any conflict. What happened in the past here and what happened in the past there and who's right and wrong and who hit who first and all those things that could be hashed out or discussed. That is not really the object of spirituality. What's really spiritual, so to speak, is getting out of conflict, non-duality. So you can focus on all the talking points about why what is going on, or you can just talk about, well, why do we fight? Why is there conflict? Just take all of the other stuff out of the conversation for a minute. I really want you to try doing this, you guys. And this is probably something you're going to see me talk a lot more about on this channel going forward. Let's just talk about conflict itself. Let's leave all of the particulars of the discussion out of it. Why do we need to hash it out over politics? Is it because of the particulars of the discussion, or is it because the ego just likes conflict? There's no way that we are ever going to evolve as a species unless and until we can look at things from that level. We have to accept every possible explanation at face value. You don't need to get sucked into the drama of it. People can say what they want. What I'm talking about is getting dragged into the conflict of duality, or the duality of conflict itself. There is no other. The ego just wants to argue its point. It just wants to be right, okay? And so that's why, like, even at the beginning of this video, I said, war is wrong, but wrong is a strong word. Well, that's just my opinion. And opinions are subjective, but I don't think I'll have a hard time finding very many of you who agree with me about that war is wrong. I think most people on earth are really sick of it. Maybe a better word would be, does war serve us anymore? And I don't think it does. But why does that go on? Again, to answer the question, why does that go on, do we get sucked into the particulars of the discussion, each talking point, looking at the history of what this person did at this time and what this person did at that time, or country, nation, or group of countries? Do we argue about those things? Or should we discuss arguing itself? That's what this video is about. Do we discuss arguing itself? Do we discuss arguing itself? Do we discuss arguing itself? Why do humans argue? Why is there conflict? Ego. Separation. Separation consciousness. It's the ego. Duality. Me, you. This, that. Us, them. The ego pits itself against something else because that's how it thrives. That's how it justifies its existence. That's its food. There is no other. There is no other. Everything you see out there in the world is you. Nothing that happens is something that is not supposed to happen. And I know that's a really tough pill to swallow with a thing like this, let's face it. Because even I am saying that war is wrong, or that suffering, we shouldn't need that anymore. But when you look at everything that happens from a higher perspective of consciousness, you see how there are no mistakes. And guys, this is just something that we need to leave behind. It's about what you choose. It's not that what's going on is good or bad. I'm trying to take you out of the whole good, bad. Like, if you want to end these types of conflagrations on earth permanently, you're going to have to get off of the duality of conflict, of ego. You have to look at conflict itself, not the reasons why the ego thinks there's conflict. Does that make sense? There's something deeper that I'm trying to show you here. There is no other. And this could even apply to family systems, right? Enmeshment with family members, you know, your parents, your siblings, a spouse, whatever. Friends even. And this is something I've learned a lot about in the last year, myself personally. Sometimes, if you can't change another, because you can't, you cannot change another. The only thing you can do is just say no thank you and leave. And that on the surface, that maybe looks like separation, but is it? If I view you as another soul who just forgot who they are, do I view you as separate? And at the same time, do I have to have relations with you? You know, If I see something that somebody is doing and what they are doing is toxic, why would I want to hang out with them? Even if it's family. I'm just going to go over here. Okay? It's energetic. New Earth, you could say. It's energetic. It's not really that we are forsaking anybody. It's, well, if you guys want to fight, if you guys want to have conflict, you go right ahead and do whatever you want. I'm going to go over here, though. Do you get it? Without judgment of the others. You see what they're doing as part of the perfection of everything. You see that there is no other. They are just souls who forgot who they are. And they're part of an old system that is going away. And at the same time, we can talk about all the other components of this conversation too. For example, it's too bad that there's so much suffering going on. And we don't want to see people suffer. We don't want to see death. Nobody likes that. And we don't say that it's not important, but you don't end conflict by taking a side. You end conflict by walking away from conflict itself. So I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to do my thing. You guys do your thing with all of those other talking points in mind. Non-duality, non-separation, true unity, and it starts in here. You are the one who has to see it. You have to see the perfection in everything exactly the way it is. There's no other way. But at the same time, what do you do physically? Well, pretty much what I just said. Come with me. Come with me to the new earth. Let's leave conflict behind energetically, once and for all.